Today we're going to be looking at your Module 2 review. So I want you to make sure that you have page 47 in front of you. Now before you watch this video, you need to have already completed it and tried it on your own. This is practice for your test tomorrow. So if you have not completed the video, not completed the page, I want you to pause the video and I want you to finish the work and then you can turn the video back on. If you have finished, you can keep watching and we're going to check your answers. So numbers 1 and 2. Choose the correct term from the vocabulary box to complete the sentences. Not all terms may be used. Number 1, a mathematical relationship expressed in symbols is called a formula. This was back in lesson 4 when you talked about the formula for finding perimeter of a rectangle. So that's a formula. Number 2, a number that is added to another number is called a add-in. It's called an add-in. Okay? Number 3, 4, and 5. So really quickly, make sure you pay attention to the instructions. It says to estimate first. Many of you on your homework last week did not estimate before you found the sum. So I'm going to work through number 3 for you, and then I'll give you the answers to 4 and 5. Okay, so for number 3, 480,321, we're going to estimate, and by estimating, we're going to round, and we're going to round to the 100,000. So if our number of 4 is in the 100,000s, we're going to use the 8 and the 10,000s to tell us what to do. So that 8 and the 10,000 is 5 or greater, so we're going to move up to the next 100,000. So instead of saying that this is 400,000, closer to 400,000, we're going to say that it's closer to 500,000. Okay? 341,569. Again, we're going to round or estimate, or to estimate, we're going to round to the 100,000. So we have a 3 in the 100,000s, 4 in the 10,000s. It's less than 5, so we're going to say that it's closer to 300,000. Okay, and then we're just going to add. And that is 800,000. So our estimate, we would write up here, is 800,000. All right, now we're going to actually find the sum, just like the instructions tell us to do. So 1 plus 9 is 10. I'm going to carry our 1 over to the 10s. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 6 is 9. 3 plus 5 is 8. 0 plus 1 is 1. 8 plus 4 is 12. So we're going to carry our 1 over into the 100,000s. 1 plus 4 is 5, and 5 plus 3 is 8. So we can say that our answer is reasonable because it is close to our estimate. All right, let's look at number 4. The estimate is 600,000. So now let's actually solve the problem. 7 plus 2 is 9. 7 plus 5 is 12. So we're going to carry our 1 to the hundreds. 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 plus 9 is 19. Don't forget that comma to separate your periods. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 0 plus 8 is 8. And 4 plus 1 is 5. So we can say that our answer is reasonable because it is close to our estimate. Number 5, our estimate should have been 10,000. Working with a smaller number here. And let's just solve our problem. 4 plus 9 is 13. Carry the 1 over to the 10s. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 8 is 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. 1 plus 7 is 8. And 8 plus 2 is 10. So again, our answer is reasonable because it matches our estimate. All right, we're doing the exact same thing for 6, 7, and 8. We're still going to start by estimating, but this time instead of adding, we're going to subtract to find the difference. Got to make sure you know how to use those words correctly. So I'm going to do number 6 for you. Okay, we don't have to do anything to the 5,000. It's already it's rounded for us. So all we need to do is come over and just write 5,000 again. But now let's look at 2,642. We're going to round to the closest thousand. So we have a 6 in the hundreds, so that is 5 or greater. So we're going to round up. So instead of 2,000, we're going to round to 3,000. And then subtract. And our estimate is 2,000. Now we're going to solve. Now, as you can see here, we've got zeros going all the way across the board. So we've got to start in our thousands and we've got to regroup. So we're going to turn that 5 into a 4. That'll give us 10 hundreds, groups of hundreds. But now remember we've got to start on the one side subtracting, so we got to keep going. So we have a 10 in the hundreds, but we need to regroup. So we need to take one of those 10s and make it a 9. Hopefully you can see that. I'm having to write over my words. We're going to make that a 10. Okay? So then we still have nothing in the ones place, so we're going to take that 10 and turn it into a 9 and make it a 10. So now we can subtract. 10 take away 2 is 8. 9 take away 4 is 5. 9 take away 6 is 3. And 4 take away 2 is 2. So 2,358. Our answer is reasonable because it matches, or it's close to our estimate. I know it's very hard to write with these really small numbers, so if you don't have enough room on this paper, you can always work it out on notebook paper, but make sure you take a picture of your notebook paper and send it to me so I can see how you did your work, because I'm looking not only for the correct answer, but I'm also looking for that you did it correctly, that you know how to work through the problem. So number 7, your estimate should have been 200,000, and your answer was 211,015. And then for number 8, your estimate is 50,000. And your actual answer should be 51,785. So when I check your work, as you can see, I just wrote the answer down, but when I check your work, I am going to be looking to see if you regrouped correctly. So make sure you practice that. All right, let's look at number 9. The sports arena had a total attendance of 54,927 people on Friday and Saturday night. If 23,380 people were in attendance on Saturday night, how many people were in attendance on Friday night? Let's stop right there and let's answer that first question. We're going to take the two numbers that we have, 54,927 and 23,380, and we're going to subtract, because we want to find out how many people were in attendance on Friday. We already know how many people were in attendance on Saturday. That was 23,000. So we're going to subtract that number from 54,000. Now, as you can see, I don't have room on my paper to really show you how to answer that, but I want you to try that on your own. It's just like you were subtracting the numbers above. But your answer should be, and I'll write the answer over to the side, 31,547. So that's the answer to the first question. But we're not done. We have another question. How many more people were in attendance on Friday night than on Saturday night? Tell what strategy or tool you will use to solve the problem. Explain your choice and find the answers. Okay, so here we already know how many people were in attendance on Saturday night. That was 23,000. This is Friday night. That number we just found for question 1, that was Friday night's total. So we're going to subtract to find out how many more people went on Friday night. There's different tools that you can use. So first I want you to decide, am I going to subtract the old-fashioned way? Because that's the easiest strategy for me. Am I going to use a bar model? What am I going to use to help me find the answer? This is important. Pick the strategy that works for you. So take a second and jot down. Are you going to use subtraction, a subtraction equation? Are you going to use a bar model? What tool are you going to use? Think about the tools that we used in this module too. All right, so when you get finished, you need to actually find the sums. When you've told me what tool you're going to use. So you're going to subtract. So this time you're going to take 23,000. So you're going to take this number right here that I'm underlining, 23,380, and you're going to subtract it from the total from Friday. So take a second and do that. You can pause this video if you need to, if you haven't worked through that problem. All right, when you do that, your answer should be 8,167. So there were 8,167 more people in attendance on Friday than on Saturday. So this is what we call a two-step problem. You do one step at the time to get your answers. Make sure that you've gone over your answers and that they're all correct. And if you didn't get one right, make sure you work it out again and you try your best on it, because this will help you for your test tomorrow.